Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm going to be showing you how wet it is around the area. I'm going to be driving around, showing you some drone video, and explaining to you why it's so wet. So ever since January 1st, we have gotten about 39 inches of snow, which is well above average. And over the last 5 months, since January 1st, we have accrued about 16.5 inches of total precipitation, and that's including the snow. And in a typical year in my area, we usually get about 26 total inches of precipitation. And so in just the first 5 months, we've had 16, which is the great majority of 26 inches. And usually in June and July and even August, we get a lot more rain, and we haven't even hit those months yet. So we're on pace to a record year. It's already been a record year. And it's looking at the forecast, it's going to continue to rain quite a bit, and it's not going to dry up very quickly. So with us getting about 16.5 inches of rain, let me do a little easy math and explain to you how much rain that is on a per acre and per square foot basis. So per inch of precipitation on a per acre basis, that equals a little more than 27,000 gallons per acre. And so when you take into account the 16.5 inches of rain, that equals roughly 450,000 gallons of water per acre. And with there being 43,560 square feet per acre, figures up to be 10 gallons of water per square foot of soil. So we're pulling up to the first location that I'm going to show you. This is one of our pastures, and it's about, I think about 140 acres of land, but right now it's I think more water than land. So pulling up here, I drove around a road closed sign. Up here yesterday, the water was quickly running across the road, so it looks like the water is receded a little bit. And you can see the water is running over the road yet. And there's some really big culverts over here. So to the right, this is our pasture. And the cows are somewhere dry, hopefully. But yeah, this water was, we drove by it and it was running yesterday. So you can see there's 3 big culverts right here. And it's still not keeping the water away. It's running over the road right there, right here, and then even further back. And most of the time, this water, it's non-existent. Usually this creek here is empty. There's been many years where you could walk through the bottom of it and just get maybe a little bit of moisture on your boots. But yeah, usually it's completely nothing. But right now it's so high, it's running over the road in 3 different spots. And there's actually another set of culverts down here a little bit, and they also aren't keeping up with all the water. And a lot of the problem is that up north of here, they've been getting equal to or more than the amount of precipitation that we've been getting. I know in Lake Poncet, which is about 2 hours northeast of here, they've had major flooding, and they've had a lot of relief efforts and people helping out, moving sandbags, and a lot of people having to move or just leave their house until the water starts going down their roads. And this is where most of the water usually comes through on an average year. And we haven't fixed this fence here for probably 8 years. Most of the time we don't have to do anything to it because the water doesn't mess with it. But on this year, it's all torn out because the water's moving so fast. And I don't think we're gonna have to fix it because there'll be so much water here, I think, the rest of the year that the cows won't even be able to swim against it and get out. Taking off with the drone now. And I'm gonna fly around this pasture. And so here's a look at where I'm sitting, right there in that pickup. And you can see how much water that's coming in, feeding these culverts down here and flowing into the pasture that we're running cows on. Holy, a bird just flew in here. Yeah, it's kind of windy today, but like I said, usually this pasture is, or this creek in this pasture is empty, and there's usually not much or if any water flowing through it at all. So let's see if we can find the cows. So it looks like we're coming up on the cows now. Oh man, there's some on one side and some on the other. And you just gotta hope that the right cow is with the right calf. But there's really not much we can do. We don't know how deep that is. It shouldn't be terribly deep, but you know, right here we got 3 cows and 4 calves, so obviously that math doesn't add up very well. And so hopefully they can find a way to get to each other, or maybe the calves can steal off the wrong cow for a while. But yeah, you can see that there's a lot of water, obviously. So now I'm gonna take off from this spot and I'm gonna go show you one of our fields. It would have been corn this year, but now it's gonna be prevent plant acres, and we're gonna have to decide on different types of cover crops, or something to cut or something to graze, or I don't know what. There's so many options right now, and every day we're getting new information about what Trump's gonna do or what they're gonna allow us to plant, and when they're gonna allow us to graze it or hay it or do what with it. And so it's hard to make a decision right now, especially when we still don't know if we're gonna be able to get beans in, because every day the forecast is changing, and sometimes it's looking like it's gonna rain another 6 days in a row, and sometimes it looks like we're gonna get a week of sunshine. And so we really have to play it by ear. So I'm pulling up to one of our fields that I was saying was gonna be corn, and there's water right in the gate, and so you can't even pull in, and it's running through this fella's yard that lives right next to it. So now I'll get the drone ready again, and I'll fly over to, well, this field that we don't farm, but it's right next to us. And then back in there by that big tree, I don't know if you can see it, there's a big portion of the field that's underwater. So this field is a few acres more than 300. And this back corner over here is underwater quite a bit. It was originally going to be corn, but now we're just kind of waiting to see what the government's going to tell us, and then we'll figure out what'll work best for us. This area obviously usually isn't this wet. It's usually just in that slough area right in the center there that we usually don't get tilled or planted in. We just leave it every year. But now the water's extended a good 100 feet at least outside of that usually wet slough. And so if we keep flying southwest, we can see more water coming up. So it's pretty obvious that it's going to be a while till we get back to planting around here. We're just waiting for sunny days like this, and hopefully a bunch of them. Probably like we're going to need about 2 or 3 weeks to scratch the surface of this saturated ground. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Comment below on how much rain you've gotten so far.